Good morning and welcome to TMI Socials. It's another brand new day with a new gist for you to be aware of on the social media space. And I am Anu Oluwapo Stevens, your social media guide, here to guide you through the world of social media. Let's quickly kickstart with a sad story that happened during the course of last night, precisely in Oyo State. So there was panic in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, last night as loud explosion rocked the ancient city, with buildings collapsing due to terrific vibration. Now, residents who spoke said houses, cars far from the scene of the explosion were impacted by the blast wave. We heard a loud bang around 7:30 p.m., they said. The number of casualties could not be confirmed as of press time, but it was gathered that victims have been rushed to hospitals while some residents are trapped in the rubble of the buildings that caved in due to the impact of the blast. Also, in a terse statement on X, formerly Twitter, the Oyo State government said it is aware of reports of an explosion in the state. Residents are urged to remain calm as security agencies are investigating this to determine the source and cause of the incident, the government said. Now, from yesterday evening up until this morning, the social media space has been bubbling and buzzing with so many, sad, gory pictures from the scene of the incident in Oyo State. Now, let's have a feel of some of the things that transpired before we move over to the Oyo State governor having his own speech as regards this. Take a listen.
We've always said to people that when you see something, say something, and then the authorities should be able to do something. This is quite unfortunate. At this stage, is just to rescue anyone that is still under the rubble here, and also the people that have been taken to the hospital to give them care. And also some of the people who have their houses destroyed, provide temporary accommodation for them at hotels within.
I can send to you. Let's move. You can take picture. I will do video.
No, just okay. The car that had the whole thing happened.
Yes, this one of this one of the car that got shredded.
I never want to have you. Everybody do.
Right, so it was indeed a shocking incident yesterday in Oyo State capital. But let's go to your reactions real quickly on the social media space. Dr. Tambari says, we stand with the people of Bodija, offering our condolences, support, and solidarity as you mourn the loss of lives and begin the process of recovery. I hope those responsible for the illegal mining are brought to book. Moving over to another one we have, let us see. Okay, so now Trophy Boy on Twitter, X right now, says, Governor says casualties day. Police says no casualty. They should strip that man and retire him or put him where he won't need to do this. Well done, Governor Sheyi. Okay, let's see other ones that we have on the social media space. Now, this particular user says, but the explosives that miners use shouldn't be this powerful that it was felt more than 10 kilometers away from the scene. There is more to this story. I hope the investigative team finds out more details because there is more to this. Thank God my parents who live there are safe. They said it felt like an earthquake, so it's not a random explosive used by miners. May God protect us. Amen. All right, let's see. Do we have another one, final one on this story? Tourism News says, God have mercy on us in Nigeria. The daily drizzling news about calamities here and there are becoming a sign that God has abandoned us and we are in the hands of Satan to do this as he deemed fit. May God forgive us and restore us back as his anointed children. Oh, well, tell me about it. God leaving us here in Nigeria. Well, I don't think so, because I know Nigeria is one of the most religious countries that we have in the world. But my heartfelt, condolences to persons who have died. I said this morning, 2 persons were confirmed dead, and so many, in the hospitals as we speak. But let's move over to another one that made the rounds on social media yesterday. Now, President Bola Tinubu yesterday eulogized his predecessor, ex-President Muhammadu Buhari, for not interfering in the composition of his 48-man cabinet last August. The president spoke in Abuja at the venue of the launch of a book, Working with Buhari, Reflections of a Special Advisor, Media and Publicity, 2015 to 2023. Authored by ex-presidential spokesman Femi Adesina. Addressing Buhari, who handed over power to him on May 29, 2023, upon the completion of double terms of 8 years, Tinubu thanked his predecessor for being a statesman. Let's have a feel of what went down yesterday in Abuja, and I'll be here to take your thoughts.
Thank you. Except when I call him to say, are you leaving? You be in the farm. You don't hear from him. Either to nominate or include in the cabinet or complain about it. Thank you for being who you are.
All right, let's go to the social media space and get your thoughts. This user says, too much hypocrisy and stupidity worrying our people. Which non-essential book? Someone that has taken this country 20 years backwards? Oh, well, Nigerians got no chill, especially on the social media space. Okay, let's see another one do we have. Now, this user, Mick Luxury Interior, says, people that said the 3 billion naira approved by President Tinubu for National Social Register verification fake news should all hide their heads in shame because it has truly been approved by the president. Okay, now Better Edu story still trending, obviously. Now let's see another story. Another reaction. Now this one says, go and do something about the country's insecurities. Nobody today speak too much English. Do something, man. The rate of insecurities, kidnapping, killings, and so on is so alarming and unacceptable. All right. Is that all we have? Okay, and then finally on the story, Nigeria president now turn by turn. No need of stressing yourself. Say you want do PVC. And again, all this rubbish something where we say if you want do, then we can't ask for PVC or driving lessons. It go stop. Oh. And another user says, Wike will not learn this one. Straight bullet, they just hit Wike, wherever he is. I think he's now in Abuja though, because he called out for a meeting just yesterday. Now let's move over to another trending gist. Shell said it has reached an agreement to sell its Nigerian onshore subsidiary, the Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria Limited, SPDC, to Resigns. Now, Resigns is a consortium of 5 firms made up of 4 exploration and production companies based in Nigeria and also an international energy group. Completion of the transaction is a subject to approvals by the federal government of Nigeria and other conditions, Shell said on Tuesday in a statement on the website. Okay, now let's move over to reactions on this particular story. So this user says, every investors are leaving from manufacturers to pharmaceutical companies to oil companies. So which investors in their right senses will want to come down here? Oh, which investor indeed. All right, let's see another one that we have. Another reaction on this story. Ferry Fitam on X. That means another oil crisis is on the way. I pray for these companies that bought their assets that the fate of Ohando doesn't happen to them. Okay, whatever that means. Now let's see another reaction that we have on this story. Victor says, shame on them. Immediately they saw Dangote refinery come alive and they knew truly that Port Harcourt and Warri would follow the step. Their game is over. They have exploited us to the brink. They are the real enemy of our dear nation, Nigeria. Oh, you think so? Now let's see, do we have another one on this particular story? Okay, and then finally, Oge Chukwu Chime says they can't compete with illegal miners in the creeks and oil bunkers. Let them leave Joe, who they help. And with the question mark right there. Okay. Now, my final story for today actually is a foreign story. Yes, and right now I'm taking you over to New Zealand, where the first refugee to be elected as the New Zealand Parliament resigned yesterday over alleged shoplifting. Now, she said it was related to personal stress and trauma. Goldsries Gaharam, an MP for the centre-left Green Party and its justice spokesman, is being investigated by the police after 3 allegations of retail theft. The lawmaker, a former human rights lawyer, said her actions were not a behavior I can explain, but she considered that she has fallen short of standards expected of politicians and needed time to address her mental health. Let's take your reactions real quickly as we get to wrap things up on this bits. Now, this user says they are tired of exploiting and milking the country dry. Perhaps there is nothing left.
All right, thank you, Anoluwa, for you know, Nigeria, everything is just on the other side. Why you have something differently in other nations when it comes to Nigeria, it has a particular way that it goes. It's only in Nigeria that you find politicians, very wealthy people, very rich people and all that. In other climes, you only have businessmen having all the money and all that.
True.
You know, so it's something that we also need to think about, because the way things are in this country, it's not encouraging. I mean, a while ago we saw how the International Air Travel Agency had to do a ranking. And of course, out of nations in the continent of Africa, Nigeria did not suffice as one nation that has a powerful passport. So it goes to show that the passport that all of us are carrying as citizens of this country
is not strong enough yet.
It's not strong enough. I mean,
Okay.
it's not strong enough to be admitted into other countries. And
So, which order stories would you want to react to?
Okay, I think I'll start with the first story and the last story. Let's start from the first one, the one that has to do with the explosion in Ibadan.
Ibadan, yes,
you know,
very sad.
Sad, and backstage I was like telling you that Ibadan, except for the metropolitan part of Ibadan, the new Ibadan that you have now, the Bodija, the Challenge and all that. Now, if you go to somewhere like Iwo Road, where you have most of the houses there, mud houses and all that. So if you have explosion, I'm just wondering what will happen to those kind of mud houses and all that. But I just hope that the governor of the day, Seyi Makinde, should rise up to the occasion and do a thorough investigation. You know, some say that it's a bomb blast, while some say that it's a miner's explosion and all that.
And also
then
on
for
social,
the last story that you said, a refugee. Did you see somebody left?
The Prime Minister of New Zealand, a refugee.
From a refugee and all that. So it's good. It's good. I think he has behaved well. He has earned it. I mean, for you to have grown from the status of being a refugee, and of course, right now he has been elected as a parliamentary member of that country.
So, well, actually, you know, just to build up to that particular story, she resigned.
Okay.
because of shoplifting.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we're trying to, like, you know, compare and contrast here in Nigeria, where there are billions of nairas being, you know, transferred to personal accounts, allegedly, and all of that. And you still see them wanting to be in the office until they're sent out or suspended, you know. Now bringing it over, it's like a different climate entirely.
It is. It's where it can only happen where you have a nation, people have character, and of course people stand for truth, and they believe in anything that have to vend their image, they won't settle for it. But back in Nigeria, you find people still trying to protect their image, even when it's very glaring that, hey, you've messed up and all that. So imagine the list of people going through investigations in the country now. If it were to be in other climes, they would have resigned while the investigations would go on. But here, people still stay in office, they fight back at...
Would you be right to say we operate a different democracy in Nigeria?
Not really. You know, like what I said a while ago, I said Nigeria, we have a peculiar way of doing things here. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Now, that's my bits for today on TMI Socials. I'll see you tomorrow. Mr. Evans.
All right, me too. Bye-bye.